A great wall along the southern border. And Mexico will pay for the wall.
He's going to build a wall. You can hear Morning Joe scoffing, but it turns out people kind of want a wall, actually. How does his plan compare to Hillary Clinton? She's against a wall, except when it's around the White House. We're going to break down her plan coming up next.
Comment on your husband.
You'll love this, Jen.
Secretary Clinton, any comment on your husband leaving?
Secretary Clinton, everybody try one.
Yeah, she's not really in the mood to answer questions. She hasn't really been in the mood for 273 days because she's just busy. According to a new report, Clinton will begin letting members of the press fly in her campaign plane. They're going to be so grateful. The question is, will they be given access? Do they need access? Will it affect their continuous suck-up to Hillary Clinton? It's nauseating, and we're going to chronicle it in excruciating detail here on the Hannity program. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Hannity. Donald Trump delivered a major immigration policy speech earlier this week in Phoenix. Here's some of the highlights in case you missed it. Watch.
We will build a great wall along the southern border. And Mexico will pay for the wall. We are going to suspend the issuance of visas to any place where adequate screening cannot occur. Within ICE, I am going to create a new special deportation task force focused on identifying and quickly removing the most dangerous criminal illegal immigrants in America who have evaded justice, just like Hillary Clinton has evaded justice, okay?
So the speech went on for over an hour, but the core promise was this. Trump said he's going to put Americans first with his immigration policy. He's not going to do anything except to the extent it benefits Americans. Does Hillary have the same guiding spirit in her immigration plan? Here to tell us, American Conservative Union Chairman Matt Schlapp, psychology expert and radio show host Dr. Gina Loudon, and Democratic strategist Dr. Jessica Tarloff. It's not actually a doctor, but for the purposes of tonight's show, you are now. Oh, you are a doctor.
Well, a PhD, it's like a little fake, but it's a thing.
Good enough for cable. So here's my question to you, starting Jessica Tarlov. So Trump has said, I'm putting Americans first. That was the core of his speech.
Right.
I've heard Hillary Clinton say an awful lot about immigration. I sat through the entire Democratic convention in Philadelphia. I didn't hear her say one thing, not one thing, ever, about the effects of immigration, legal or illegal, on American citizens, the people who live here. Why?
Well, it's a different focus of a message. Obviously, the core of her plan is that there's a pathway to citizenship for the 11 million undocumented immigrants that are in the country right now, which actually, it seems like, is Donald Trump's plan as well. If you look at what he said the morning after his speech, he's waffling a bit at this, and Amnesty
That's certainly not the core of his plan or his main concern.
No, not what he had said that night. No, the America
main concern
First
of Morning Joe, but not the main concern.
No, well, he didn't say it to Morning Joe. Yes, Amnesty Dawn is Morning Joe's thing, but the truth of the matter is that what he said on Wednesday night is not what he said on Thursday morning, which is a problem. We still don't know what his speech is. But what Hillary Clinton talks about, she talks about American exceptionalism, and she talks about what America is founded on, which is being a melting pot of people from all over the world, and that her core argument is that immigrants make us better as a nation. Okay. They're not here just to take our jobs, to kill our children.
Okay, but that's a bumper sticker, not a policy. And it's a nice spirit. I mean, I like immigrants, Matt Schlapp. I think every American, I mean it, does like immigrants. They work super hard. They're really nice. I mean, I think most of them are great, actually. But doesn't a president have to take into account the effects of immigration on people who were born here, who live here, who are American citizens? I don't get the sense Hillary Clinton cares at all. And if she does, I'll stand corrected. But show me the evidence.
Look, it's all politics, right? She was against illegals getting driver's licenses, and now she's for it. She's now criticizing Barack Obama for actually more aggressively than at the beginning of his administration, deporting illegal aliens, taking on her own president. She voted for a fence, which she called a fence, not a wall. I don't know whether it's a wall or a fence, Tucker, or just a barrier, but she voted for that when she thought it was good for her politically. She's all over the map, but it comes down to this. At the end of the day, for Hillary Clinton, she's going to do or say anything to the left flank of her party in order to have the cohesion she needs to keep the Bernie Sanders and hopefully the Jill Stein people at bay.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, Donald Trump has this right, which is when 75% of the American public thinks, and that's Democrats and Republicans, by the way, thinks we're on the wrong track, and when our economy is as weak and soft as it is, where people haven't seen increases in their take-home pay, it's right to put American citizens first. It is not racist. It is right.
I want to get Gina Loudon in here. So, Gina, last year, 2015, fully one-half of all driver's licenses issued in the state of California went to illegal aliens. Hillary Clinton supports that. Why would she support that? It seems pretty clear that Democrats are intent on erasing the distinction between citizen and non-citizen in the expectation that non-citizens will vote. I mean, this is a political.
There's no evidence of that.
Really?
That illegals are voting?
Then why wouldn't, Gina, let me ask you this. Why wouldn't they vote? In states with no requirement for ID, why wouldn't illegal aliens vote?
Of course they vote, and that honestly is my biggest fear about the next election. It isn't that Mr. Trump will lose. I live right on the Mexican border, and I can tell you that my friends and neighbors, by and large, Hispanic immigrants, will be voting for Mr. Trump because they don't like what's happening in their own neighborhoods. I love Jessica, but I cannot understand how anyone can sit there with a straight face and defend what Hillary is proposing. She's essentially saying, hey, Jessica, tonight when you go to bed, leave your doors open, set a pot of cash out on your sidewalk, because that's what she wants us to do with our country. Most Americans can see right through this. They know it's all about votes, Tucker, and that's why they like Mr. Trump's plan that is actually a plan.
Well, they don't
Gina,
like Trump's
look,
plan.
you're game to answer any question, and I'm going to ask you a sincere one. Hillary Clinton is saying, my campaign is about wages, middle-class wages. How can you simultaneously say that and encourage a continuation of a massive importation of low-end labor into the labor pool, which depresses wages?
Well, we have a net outflow of immigrants from Mexico. Yes, we do.
Not from Mexico, but not net.
But
we have a net increase, massive. We are approaching the highest levels of foreign-born people in this country we've ever had, ever. You can't look me in the eye and tell me that raises wages. It does the opposite.
No, I know, and we've talked about this, that there are people who are going against the
So how can
demand.
she say the both things?
Well, she can say them both. Her main argument is about these 11 million people who are here. Yes, there's a visa program, but it's about the 11 million, the good people who Donald Trump talked about, been here 20, 30 years working for their families. To Matt's point about the direction of the country, 75% wrong track, that's a little bit high. But what about the 65% that favor a pathway to citizenship? Over 50% of the GOP is now behind it. 77% for legalization.
What about Americans, Matt? Look, I'm not.
What about
I'm
what's
sure
so bad about your life?
The 20 million or whatever the number is of illegals in this country, I'm sure a lot of them are really nice people. I mean that,
11 million.
Right. We don't know that. That's not a real number. But
it's
a census number. We don't know what the number is. But here's the point. What about the effect on Americans? Like Trump, whatever his many faults, he's the only person I've ever heard ask that question.
You know what's funny about, they talk about the fact that we're having illegal Mexican immigrants go back to Mexico. Even they're indicting the Obama economy. Even they can't find what they need with the wages they've been able to get in the past.
That's the hilarious point.
And what about the debt?
Let me try here. Let me try. The fact is the fact that putting America first, people say it's racist, they say it's nativist. No, it's not. It just makes sense. And by the way, it's connecting to people, be they Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever they are. They're like, why shouldn't I be first?
Well, that's a great question.
Well,
Gina Ladin, we're almost out of
Tucker,
time. Just sum it up for me, would you?
Yeah. Tucker, when you put all the noise aside, all Americans care about in this election is being able to provide for their families and to be able to keep them safe. Mr. Trump's 10-point plan addresses that. Hillary hasn't even addressed the debt, her incompetence as Secretary of State, or anything else, any of the mistakes that she's made so far.
Well, she's going to do that
like freedom,
in her next press conference. So stay tuned. Gina, Matt, Dr. Tarlov, it's great to see you all. Coming up next, there is still more on the Hannity program, including this.
Secretary Clinton, any comment on your husband?
You'll love this, Jen.
Secretary Clinton, any comment on your husband leaving?
Secretary Clinton, everybody try one.
She's got no comment. She's not interested in talking.